It has been for me but a few seconds. Wheels are looking genuinely safer than I imagined, which is nice. Still feel like I can pop this into place a bit better, but there we go. So first things first, I'm going to get these wheels on. I need to know if they're going to work, because if not, I need another plan. So I should do that before I think about actually putting a weapon on. At least right now I have a shape that can probably push and control stuff. Where did I put... Oh, there. I love it. I kept all this stuff right next to me and I was still looking behind me for it. So I'm going to properly secure these servo horns on. Might see if I can quickly nab one of these better horns from another pack. Which I can. Not feeling great about the fact I'm doing it from a brand new pack, but hey, I have an hour-ish. I feel like I should stop promising that really solid time frame just because I haven't actually timed it properly. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. I'll at least replace that with this one, so this still has, you know, multiple servo horns in the pack. So the way these SG90s have been treating me, this one probably doesn't work properly anyway. Right. Where did I put it? Phew, it's just on the table. You're probably thinking, Ryan, isn't it a bad idea to have that receiver just floating around everywhere hitting stuff? Yes, yes it is. That is a thing I should not be allowing to happen. It's a thing I can fix right now rather than just knocking myself over. There we go. Just going to do that somewhere across here. Seems like a good place as any. There we go. I might even get the wires taped down while I'm at it. Only temporary, but will probably end up being permanent. That's what happens to most of my temporary solutions. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, getting these screwed on. Oh, this is going to be... I wish I'd done this before I'd put the wheels on. Sorry, before I put the servos on anything. Because you do kind of have to grab it and screw quite hard and... questionable choices. Not that this whole thing is anything but a questionable choice, you understand. Usually the first few turns aren't particularly tricky usually. It's only as the screw goes deeper that you start encountering more resistance. Luckily I've got this going in quite straight, so I think it's going to be fairly nice to me. Yeah, it's going quite well. I'll get this as deep as I can, because otherwise it's going to interfere with how the wheel glues on. That's gone fairly well. Now for the other one. Something else I'm noticing just as I hold these servos is where they've been in the hot shed. I think they've leaked some of the lubricant that's in the gearbox, which says a lot about the quality of the servo. Oh, that's starting to come off. That's not helpful. There's some play in them, but that's just play that's in the gearbox itself. I don't know how well you can see that. I don't know if that's going to focus. I don't think... Oh yeah, there it is. You can see that as I move that, it's actually the whole stack of gears that's moving. So it's not that I haven't got the screw tight enough. It's just, again, a quality issue. Which I'm fine with, because these are dirt cheap. Right. Legitimately nervous about doing this. But just going to have to go with it. Aluminium. Ow. Really hot through there. I can't press it down. This is a disaster. Oh, this is exactly as good as it deserved to be. So I tried to press on there and it was warm. And again, the thermal expansion, because aluminium is quite a thermally responsive material, immediately just bent everything out of shape. Oh, this is so bad. This is a really budget hold my beer. I wish I'd used the cider cans now, just for the joke. This time I might apply the... No, I will apply the glue to this again. I was going to say I might apply it to the servo horn instead, but... Nah. Way too sensible, isn't it? Trying to apply my pressure from the non-metal side this time. Give myself a little bit of insulation. Okay, that's on. I'm going to give that a minute. Wow, look how straight that wheel is. Let's try and do something about that before it sets. Cures, cools, I still don't know what the proper word is for hot glue. So that's going to need a minute just to make sure that's dried as much as it... Just make sure that's as stuck as it can be before I start moving it all around. Maybe I should have left that till later, you know. But no matter. Next thing I need to do is build the top side of the catamaran bits up. I feel like I'm going to want to use this for something else. Maybe just for that aesthetic flair out the back to make it more catamaran-y. Oh, hiccups, they're going to be fun. Oh, hiccups, even better. I'm going to claim this doesn't count against my time. Let's hope that dealt with that. Or should I deal with the weapon first? No, I'm going to make this part work. You know what I will get? So that I don't keep putting pressure on the wheels. Let's see if it stands nicely on this block of wood. This block of wood is the hero of my builds. For keeping wheels off of floor while I press down on things. There we go, look at that! Look at that! This is very hold my beer-esque. If I had more of this, I would just do the same on top now, knowing that. But I don't, so I won't. You know what? That would work really well. That would work almost too well to turn down. I'm doing exactly that. Screw it. Gives me what I need without cutting anything new. Has a certain aesthetic flair to it. Can't ask for more than that. Please stick and stay stuck. I'm going to need something there to strengthen it, but that's fine. That I can do. Have I got enough? Oops, sorry. Keep forgetting that I'm making a video here. There we go. Get it in the right place, Yanana. There we go. Now something in there to hold that up. What can I use? This isn't all that thick, so I don't know if it's going to be useful, but I'll try it. Again, remember that I'm making a video. Be nice to keep the Amazon logo out of it if I can. That went well. There's a bit like that. There it is. Ignore the sound of chaos behind me. It's purely an illusion. So if this kind of went on to there, so what I need to do is that, and because it's already doing it naturally there, that, cut this corner, that then comes across like that and makes a nice little triangle-y bit. Everything gets cut down by about that much. I feel like this is a problem I've solved before, but I can't think where, when, or why. Warm. Warm, 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 warm. Gonna need a fresh glue stick, so I'll sort that out while that just sets up a little more. Go. So that can just go in there like that, and perfect. For the aesthetic. You understand. what I need to do with the next one is make sure that it's the opposite-handed version of what I've just made there, which could be tricky. So it was like that. I love that I did it now, I can't remember how. Like that, cut that way, I think I did. I'm not sure that it matters, to be fair. Now if I do it that way, that is correct. Awesome. Said I wasn't going to get the Amazon logo on it. Fairly sure that I have. Oh well. I mean, they have boats going up the Amazon, so that makes it more nautical, right? Sorry, more... I know, I think maritime has to be the sea. Ow. Bums. Really trying not to swear, and I'm not actually sure. I suppose it's mostly because the shed door's open. Although people are already hearing the weird stuff I'm getting up to, so... That can come like that. These aren't as symmetrical as I might have liked, but they're functional. I think that's a little too tall, but I'll make it work. There we go. This genuinely is the kind of... I should probably hesitate to call it this, but I think this is genuinely a form of engineering, let's be honest. It's taking stuff and making a thing with it that shouldn't be made from it. Maybe that's quite a pure form of engineering. Maybe that's grandiose, I'm sure comments will decide, but it's the kind of challenge that I love with making stuff. It's stupid, it's incredibly limited, but I know I'm going to be either proud of or amused by whatever I make. Right, I've got 20 minutes of video and I want to test this within that. So, that is going to have to be enough for the front. I'd love to build it up along here and like angle it, but don't have time. Weapon. Actually, I think I'm going to go with this old SG-90 for the weapon. Just seems easier. So that can go there in some way. I can go there in some way right now because I'm not going to stop and think about it. Might be smart to put some card down first, but it wouldn't be quick. Quick decisions are good decisions, remember. That goes into what I hope is the throttle channel. This is why I shouldn't have done this with the receiver. I'm sure my head is completely in the way right now, but there we go. Beautiful. Just hide that down there and no one will ever know. Now what goes onto it? That is the question I have. Fairly sturdy plastic here, which I feel like is going to be the one to make some kind of arm. Actually, this could be a kind of sail, couldn't it? Just to make it more maritime. Just do a little maritime dance there. Sure you could see that. Whoa, it's fine. So, how long does it need? Would that be enough? Or would it need to be... See, if that's enough, then I can keep these slightly grabby bits on. Literally just attach it like that onto a servo horn, which would be quick. And I can just like cut a sail shape into it. See if I can get the... This is all precious time. Hey, it actually peels off nicely. That's a rarity. Right, so I need to cut kind of along there. I think that might be slightly beyond scissors. And slightly beyond my capabilities to do safely and quickly with a knife. So let's crack out the tin snips. Okay, maybe this would have been doable with scissors, but you know what? The tin snips are fun. perfection. That side I think looks nicer, but this has the little grabby part, which I quite like. Let's see how it attaches first, to be fair. It could be that it's terrible. I'm tempted, I'm tempted to just go. Look at that, I feel like I have time right now. I feel like I should do a slightly better attachment than I'm currently looking at. If you're worried about me cutting towards my hand with this, then you're not alone, because so am I. Okay, the whole point was I wanted a thick bit of this. So actually, if I just... There we go. Hang these back up, because they don't really go anywhere nicely on my current setup. And I do think that scissors will handle this quite nicely. So what I'm thinking is, servo horn goes onto this bit. Actually, it's probably way too wide now. My thinking was that I could kind of fold this part up and onto there, but I feel like that's just going to, yeah, screw it. I'm just going to attach it straight, you know. Help if I had a servo horn first, wouldn't it? Am I going to use the tiny one? I think I might be about to use the tiny one. You know what? No, I'll get out a proper... things I do for you. Can I at least find some that aren't already in a pack with a still good SG90? That would be preferable in my world. Hello, Wowbagger the Abandoned. That looks like it might be SG90 stuff. Another thing I've learned recently is that not all servo horns are the same. If anything, they all seem to be very slightly and subtly different. In a way that you can't discern by eye, but you can discern when trying to use them. So let's get out a screw. Oh, I should have done this before I stuck it on. It's like I never learn. Well, it's not like I never learn. I never learn. And that is not an SG90, okay. Well, we're going with the one we've got. The screws are, I think, interchangeable. So that's something. "18 minutes of this video gone." That leaves me about 15 to finish and test. On you go. No pomp or ceremony about this bit. Let's get it down in there. Should really test it, but you know what? No. I'm risking it on this one in the interest of time. I know I said exactly why I shouldn't do that earlier, but here I am, ignoring my own advice. It's not a rarity. I'm really not convinced this part's going to work. But yes, I know I just put hot glue all over the screw. It's just a risk I'm going to have to be willing to take at this stage. This, I don't know how easy it is for you to see, this servo is leaning forwards. So this is going to have plenty of clearance over the back of the robot. This is... I've just been struck by how dumb this is. Remember when I said this was jellyfish inspired at the beginning? Right, while that's drying up a bit more, I need to make a top and I need to make it fast. So, do I have any... Well, I'm not need to worry about it being blue card, I just need to use the back of it, don't I? Let's use some nice white stuff though. I feel like that's like the cream aesthetic of a luxury catamaran. Because that's clearly what this is. This isn't any old catamaran. How have I not reached the point already where the word catamaran doesn't seem like a real word anymore? Probably because I haven't actually said it that often. Sorry, once again, I'm doing stuff off camera. I know you need to see the scintillating scissor-based scenes. Is that wide enough? Just perfect. So my thinking is a little cutout for servo-y servo. I need to name this as well, that's the point. So I just thought to myself, Servo McServo Face, but that's a terrible name that I'm not going to make myself use. Maybe that should be a little bigger of a cutout. Come on, how hard is it to get into a cut you've already made? Oh, evidently quite. There we go, and then see if I can actually make this work. That's not a pen, Ryan, that's a scalpel. You're going to stab yourself, boy. Okay, I'd love to do this in a way that you can see, but I can't. Okay, and the other side as well. That went well, but this side's fine, so we'll do this side. And I'm going to cut actually quite outside of it, because a little overhang won't hurt. Do I just try and match that on this side? I think I might, you know. Because this is speed building. Perfection. Could trim the back down, not sure I want to. Ah, well, it's fine. Let's go to the edge of the strawberries and cream and that'll about do it. And then I need an access hole for the electronics, which is going to be more on this side. Go. And that is how we build an absolutely perfect top plate in just one attempt. He says, altering it slightly. Man, my back is starting to hurt from working at this table. Note to self, more ergonomic setup. Just over 10 minutes, but I don't want to cut it that fine if I can help it. So, I'm going to take the battery there because I want to be able to just connect via... What? So one of the most annoying things that's ever happened to me, I just got a WhatsApp call that stopped my video, meaning that this, to make sense, is now going to need to be edited together, and that's something I'm going to have to ask Sam to do. Not something I wanted, but let's hope that doesn't happen again. That really could happen again. That would be problematic. What if I can quickly set a Do Not Disturb mode? It's the kind of thing that a clever person would do. Do I have a Do Not Disturb mode? Yes, I do. Perfect. That's something learned for the future. Anyway, this like that. Battery really wants to come in under here, so I wonder if I should just move the receiver down onto the base. I'm going to move the receiver down onto the base. There's plenty of power wire room. Well, there's plenty of every wire room, to be honest. There we go. Oh, press that down in an uncomfortable way that made everything flex. Oh, I'm super annoyed about the video thing. Oh well. Not a problem. The person who did it is not at fault. They didn't know. I should have done something to prevent it from happening. Okay, let's just keep the charging cable in like... Oh, actually, I'm going to want the charging cable to be able to come out, really. So I will just tape the whole thing down, with both cables sticking a little bit out the top, and then tape them down out of weapons reach. This is not a recommended practice. Ideally, I would just have a switch on this. I didn't have one to hand. It's mostly fine. because I can just kind of jumper it like this. But yeah, not a fully recommended way of working. There we go. So a little bit of hot glue to get this down. And we are laughing. I'm really not going to do this all that securely. Just enough to keep it in place aesthetically as much as anything. Good news is, this video can now run a little longer if it needs to, and probably get more good testing footage in, which is nice. Move, 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 move. Hot is my preferred type of glue. There we are. Well, oh boy, I really should have tested the weapon first. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh no. Oh no, I put it onto throttle. I should not have put it onto throttle. That's going to be a huge issue. Well, this could be quite unsafe to start up. I'll quickly do some tread on the wheels so I can give it a full test. You know what? No, I'm going to leave the wheels untreaded just for comedy value. I also really need a bigger table than this to test this on. Get everything out of the way. Again, I'm a professional. This is how we roll. Oh, I'm really scared about what this is going to do when I turn it on, because this is probably going to start spinning. I'll try and get the throttle set to 50%, but... well, to 0% as it technically is. But that might be trimmed as well, so who knows. So that can get out of the way. I'd like to get this tape down out of the way as well, really, but... yeah. Okay, I'm not hearing any sounds. That's disconcerting. Although there we are. So we have mobility. I'm likely to say we have traction. Let's see what the weapon does. I don't know how effective it's going to be as a grabber, but... well, it's super hard to control, but it does seem to have a nice dead zone in the middle. Let's test its grabbing capabilities. So we drive up, they're in our grasp, and it goes over the top. Don't know what I expected. Look, weapon geometry wasn't one of the stated goals of this thing. This is probably too big. So again, we start in our box. We know what opponent we want to go for. We get them in our clutches, and we push them straight out. Well, I know what this does need. Because this is, after all, a maritime-themed robot. And it is, in a sense at least, to a limited degree, you know, a celebration of the one and only jellyfish. And that means I should be honouring Dave Lorry properly in some way. So I think there's only one way that I can realistically do that. Well, there are probably lots of ways, but there's only one way that I've currently thought of. So let's do that. Oh, the pigeons are back on the roof. Enjoy the noise of that. I'm not going to narrate this. You can just watch. You can work out what it is as we go, in a non-Rolf Harris way. I think it's very important to point that out. There we go. Just a little shark fin to honour the memory of Sharksotracheum, possibly the greatest Bogglebots contender to have ever lived. Well, there we are. I can't remember what I stated the aims of this were at the beginning, but I feel like with any project like this that isn't serious, the main aim is just to make myself laugh uncontrollably at some point, and I think on that front, by the fact that my chest still hurts, I think it's mission accomplished. Let's turn it on one more time. Especially since I didn't actually turn my transmitter off, you know. Oh wait, I've just turned it off now, because that's useful. Get that to a rough 0. Plug her in. And enjoy the majesty of this weapon one more time. You can barely overcome the friction of the front. I'm going to go out spinning. This has been a lot of fun. That's an annoying noise. I'm going to stop. I think I came in under the hour. I'm very happy with that. I think I could genuinely go and have quite a lot of fun fighting this robot against other robots like it. I would also be perfectly happy to just put this in a proper ant arena with a proper ant and see what happens. Yeah. Let's get some angles. Why not? Show it off in all its glory. The side relief that barely fits in. Dad ass. And then the fear you must face as you approach this vicious and deadly weapon. Oh, this is why I robot. This is why I robot. After a stressful 6.5, 7 hour build where I upped the expectations on myself, this is a nice little reminder of what it's all about. That's it. Hopefully this has been stitched together into a video. That is a robot that I still haven't named. Suggestions welcome. I'm going to go have some more food.